Happy Tuesday. Hope some of you came over from Sheila's channel. I'm sure you did. We always have fun together, Sheila, Danny, Shay, and I. All right, I'm looking for a card of the day, which was the 5 of Wands. Card of the day every single day, Way of Positive Change, Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky. All right, 5 of Wands. So it's trauma to the 10th degree. Don't get drawn in the drama. And take your wand. The magician doesn't put his wand in here. Don't pay attention to the S starters. You know who the drama people are, people that feel like they have to be in the center of attention for everything. So avoid them. Just tell people you can't talk today. And don't get drawn into an argument. You know, there's 5 people here, all different colored jerseys, but it can be a problem between you and one other person. But there are going to be fights today, so be very, very careful. Okay, I named this video things that haven't come to, I think I said, what scandals haven't been fully exposed yet. And we got all kinds of, if you didn't see that video on Sheila's channel, go back and watch it, because we got a lot of really important information there. I definitely felt that something about the crown bug will come out, and something about the inoculations, and just, you know, how some of the medical people, society or practitioners or people have led, professionals have led us astray, like cattle for capitalism. So I feel like there's stuff coming out about that. I also really felt that there's a big expose about Vance and Kirk. Just my opinion, for entertainment purposes only. And Turning Point and the other Kirk. So I feel like that hasn't come about. Of course, the Butler ear incident. Let's see what else we come up with. What other big scandals? Hey, I forgot to put my million. That is important. Okay. What other scandals haven't fully evolved or come to the light? And me, myself, and I feels it too. She feels like we're just around the corner from something. What is that? People that you think are happy that aren't really happy. Something about that. A family that you think is all that and 5 bags of chips isn't really. Maybe they only have a quarter bag of their chips left. Something screwy. Okay. Of course, yes, the Epstein, that whole thing. What else? Medical misinformation. That's what I'm going to call it. Medical misinformation. Okay. And did you see that Trump is trying to, he wants to knock down the pillars in the front of the White House now? I mean, I just really feel like we're going to do the haunted question, because he's, you know, he's haunted. Okay. Something that has to do with mercantile shipping industry. Sales and the purchase. The manipulating of the money, the cost. and people who have power, and they just put their wand up and say, it's going to cost this, it's going to cost this. False prices that affects the average everyday family. Message is coming very soon. So this is market price manipulation. Okay, so things that have gone up in price didn't really need to go up in price yet. That we're really feeling the squeeze and that we're being bullied. And there's going to be some legal action taken so that they're not able to do this again. There's going to be limits put on it. And they won't be able to bully us like this again. Okay, so that goes from gas to meat prices to various things. I know that there's problems with cattle, and there's only so many meat packing and preparation, the plants that butcher, and they have a monopoly. So I really feel like that's going to be changed. Okay. And the price of housing, the house, the four corners of the family home, and people that just feel like they can't purchase, they can't get ahead, they can't, which remember to do your vision board, because people are always moving, people go through difficult times, and with the down market, which I feel that it will go down, but let's go ahead and take a look at that. People will be able to get in easier. So I feel like it has to do with market manipulation. So the full extent of how the markets for the things that we eat, the things that we purchase, even medical information and housing and banks, I feel like that's coming out. And we've been bullied. And with false information, just to get things their way. Prices were raised that didn't need to be raised. Okay, let's see. There's scandals that haven't yet fully surfaced. All right, but let's look at the housing market. Will prices begin to come down? Will people feel excitement because they'll be able to purchase a home more easily? And I'm asking about this in 2026. And I'm also going to take a look at our economy, because I think a lot of people are, freaking out. And I just don't see it being that bad. I mean, I feel like it's tough, but I don't feel, thank you, T-Barb. Good to see you. I don't feel like it's going to be catastrophic. I haven't ever gotten that. Okay, so here too, the numbers, were elevated to the amount that just, it just seems like a pipe dream to everyone. And then the banks have done that. It's the same thing that they did before, except they have some limits of not being able to loan people money for those giant amounts. So it was easier in the past here with the Sun and the Nine of Cups. And here, this is corporations and big money and big banks and corporations that bought up a lot of the houses and would rent them out or sell them at a much higher price. Okay, the Death card means there's change coming, and there isn't anything that those corporations can do about it. So when the Death card is right here on the doorstep, it means that the things will not continue the way they were previously. So this is really good. And when it changes very quickly. It hasn't, there's all this nebulous soup here with numbers. It hasn't been announced yet, but when it comes quickly. People will feel more empowered, like they have their wand. They can start new. I'm loving it. To-do. Okay. To-do or ta-da? Ta-da. Okay. So this is really good. Somehow parts of this starts to change in the time of Leo, goes right through Scorpio. So this tells me just hang on. So if you know of anyone that's becoming despondent or disillusioned, feeling down and out, or has poverty consciousness, thoughts about ever owning their home, just tell them to be patient and persevere, because change is going to happen. And this is really good news for us and for people being able to find places to live. And I'm telling you, if these corporations and these other people don't come around, come to heel more quickly to what is needed, they're not going to have first responders and teachers for their children and firemen and paramedics and everything. So they better get right. They better get right. Yeah, they're still trying, but it's good to save and look for the future and put it on your vision board. You know, put your 3 top things. I'm all about the short-term vision board because it's gradient and it's more approachable, you know? So you're not putting a Swiss chalet on your short-term vision board. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. So I feel that if we just be patient and persevere, the change is coming and the wand is put back in the people's hand. After all, they need people to take loans. That's how banks survive. So their greed goes over the top, then they have to kill it, and then they have to restart. Okay. All right, that's good. Now, what about buying groceries for us? Are we going to have adequate grocery supply? Are there going to be adequate vegetables and fruits and things to eat at the grocery store? Are we going to be able to go in and purchase? Is there going to be a shortage, I guess, is what I'm trying to figure out. Is there going to be a food shortage where things get really tough here in 2026? Just focusing on this year. If you guys could help me out, please hit the like button and check to make sure that you're subscribed. Support your favorite reader, because YouTube is really coming down on Democratic people, whether it's Fair and Balanced or David Pakman or Marianne from Revealing Light, or our channel, Danny's, everybody's channels, numbers are dropping. So we're all looking into Substack, and we'll keep you updated on that. Please help us stay afloat here on YouTube. And always check for your favorite reader's latest video. Okay, so I mean, it's fluctuating. Our economy is fluctuating, and it's hard to balance everything. For some people, it may feel untenable, unmanageable, but people are going to help people here. Here we have the death card over here. Oh, same cards. So it's important to save towards your food, towards your essentials, of course. Wow, you saw me shuffle. Of course, if you get to the store early, you're going to have a better selection, right? And stock trucks, a lot of times they come at night, but sometimes they come in the morning. We sure learned that here with the hurricane. If you got there early when the generator was on, when they first opened the first Publix after Ian, if you got in line early, you could actually get some ice if you were really lucky. Okay, so some corporations will try to still be sneaky. So there's going to be some sort of announcement or something that happens, and then the media will run with it, and they'll say there isn't going to be enough of this or that, and so people will rush. There'll be a giant surge, like with the crown bug, where people all went to go buy the toilet paper. So but that's foolish. So the fool card is here. So they're saying there will be some rushes on some things with media and announcements. People will feel called to, like, oh, I have to go panic buy. Well, that's not true here. Okay, so let me ask this another way, because they're trying to tell me something here. Is there enough food to go around for United States citizens? People who live in the United States, is there enough food to go around? Will there be enough supply? Ask it in a different way. Oops. There's that 8 of Wands again. I feel like there's going to be some, hype and some false, information. But by all means, if you feel an inkling that you need to go get something for yourself, get something for yourself. Okay. But I just want to see if there's enough. Yeah, and we help each other. There's going to be food banks. Of course, there's going to be shortages here or there, but what does this mean? When the devil is upright, it means there's probably a problem. But if it's challenged and it's on its side in the Celtic cross in the second place, this means it's fear. That's what it is. It's fear. Sometimes bad people want you to feel fear so that you will buy their product. I feel like there's still shipping going on. Neither one of these is bad. This is, where we get things. This is how we put things together. The next step, shipment, opportunities, new beginnings. The government, let me see what else. Fine. So remember that there are bad actors, and Putin is one of them, and he has a lot of control over media, because remember when he would pay the podcasters, remember they took millions of dollars and some of them confessed to it, and it was the end for some of them. And I believe that he's doing that. And I believe there are others that are doing that are making it that are even going to get to a government official that might say, but we're okay here. So I just, I'm just going to ask one more question, like, how are you and I going to feel about the supply and the ability to purchase food? How are you and I? How's Rose Blue? How's Candy? How's T-Barb? Square Peg? How are we all going to feel about the ability to purchase food and the supply? 2026. Then when we get closer to the end of 2026, we'll figure out 2027. I just don't want you guys to be scared. There's going to be some things that happen here really quickly. There's going to be some scuffles and protests, and things that get out of hand, and we're going to feel compelled to, like, go protest and get out on the street, but we're going to be okay. We're tired. We're tired, and we feel sad, and sometimes we're thinking, sometimes we're thinking of past situations that have happened, but we have to stay in the day that we're in. There's opportunity here. Save for what you want. There will be manipulation, okay? And some people will go in and take as much as they possibly can, and then they check out and they put it in their car and they go back. And even if there's a limit, then they'll go back and they'll go back for more, because this guy always goes back for the 2 that are still sticking in the ground over here. Fear. There's that rush again. Two of Wands. We get things from other places as well, and people will hoard. People will hoard, and people will stock up. I think it's good to stock your pantry anyway, but don't get things like a lot of people I know that, especially for hurricane food, for the hurricane pantry, they get things that they wouldn't normally eat. Don't do that. Only get things that you like. But I feel like we're okay. It's not, this isn't up here. There's going to be some people who are really hoarding and chintzy and go, there's a rush on the market. But I feel like we're okay. There's going to be a release of information. Oh, you better go get this. Oh, you better go get that. And there could be some environmental things too with weather that come up. But I think if you, over these next couple weeks, if you just stock your pantry, I think you're going to be fine. Okay. Oh, thank you, Lynn. Yeah. If you really, if you like somebody on YouTube, help them, because it's not right what they're doing with the algorithms and hiding the shadow banning. So I'm going to be checking out Substack and a couple of other things. Let me know. I asked on Sheila's channel. Let me know if you're already a paid subscriber to Substack. I think it's only $6.00. So let me know if you already are subscribed for that. I'd like to know how many people are already. I know quite a few people are. Well, there's a will, there's a way. All right. What do we don't know about the economy? Sometimes we forget to ask questions like that. And there could be a merchant or certain country that doesn't want to help us, and so they hold on, or something doesn't go through. Oh, thank you for the super sticker. Ruth. Okay, so, and sometimes, there may be things that get stuck, or a country doesn't want to help us or something, so they hold on to their thing. But I don't want you to worry. I just don't want you to worry. Six of Cups is, we're gonna help each other, and then karma comes to those who cut off the aid to other countries. Like Musk and USA. Musk. What do we not know about the economy? False promises from a male. Fighting, competition, things of the earth, farming. There's our Six of Cups again. Everybody has to get involved. You can't have an attitude. To make a commitment to try to help each other. Helping each other, helping each other. This is just, we're not going to be able to have apathy. I know this is definitely not for you guys. You know, because there will be some people who are just feel entitled and they won't help, but there are helpers here. So people will get together and they will help. Okay, our prayers are heard. So it's pray and say and pray. Thank you, Allison. That's very sweet of you. Okay, so your prayers are heard. I'm also going to say that churches are going to be very active in providing food for people. I know they're really active here. We have a really large Presbyterian church that does the Cape Coral Caring Center. It sounds like a care center, but it isn't. It's they can help you fall through the cracks with your electric, or and 3 times a year you go into their food pantry that even has meat and all kinds of things there. So and it's all by volunteer. So what do we not know? Our prayers are heard. We will need to help each other, and you might be able to volunteer a little bit here. Apathy is not allowed. And allow someone to help you, you know, allow someone to help you or be a driver for someone else. We'll all be working together. Helpers are here. Helpers are here. I think there's some false promises. I don't know if that probably comes from the Trump administration, but we're okay. Everyone's going to have to work together. Okay. I think maybe next week we'll look at water and electric bills. So if you guys remind me on that. Today I just wanted to look at the food sources. And you didn't, you know, we didn't see the Ten of Swords, you know, up at the top, or the Five of Swords up at the top, or Five of Cups, or Five of Pentacles, which is really indicative of terrible, terrible time and terrible struggle, you know, or Ten of Swords up at the top, or the Tower, you know. So I just want you guys to just do some deep breathing. We're going to be okay. Okay. Putin fired a specific, it's a, what's it called? Oreshnik, a hypersonic Oreshnik missile into Kyiv. It is nuclear capable to carry. Zelensky's really mad. He wants a tribunal crime judgment of aggression against him, and the ICC already has a warrant for Putin. Will Putin, first of all, will Putin suffer any consequences for doing this, for using that kind of missile? Remember, he's a cornered snake, and a cornered snake bites. I believe he's going to do it again. Believe he's going to do it again. He's going to get in trouble. We're going to hear about it. Oh, he is going to actually get into a little bit of trouble with this. This is good. Other governments will have a say-so in this. Even maybe Ruta. Who he doesn't care, he does not listening. He is going to have to go somewhere for this. He's going to be hauled in for questioning. I don't know how they're going to get their hands on him, or one of his top advisors. That just hit me. So maybe one of his top military people who had say-so over this is going to be brought in to court. So this is a yes. Okay. This is a yes. That's good. Okay. So now I want to see if he will fire, if the POOD will fire another one of those missiles, or a NUK at Ukraine, in Ukraine, into Ukraine. Will POOD use those type of things that fly through the air that can cause mass destruction? Into Ukraine, on Ukraine. They're going to go after one of his generals. This combination makes me think that he will do another. He's going to do another. Because when we ask about things that go bang, when the Wheel of Fortune comes up, it's usually indicative of a yes. Okay. Just like we saw with the GUN that went bang by the house that's white. Okay. But I believe there's going to be ethics and government hearings, and this destabilizes Putin somehow. Okay, but I still feel like something goes across the water there. Goes over there. All right. So is Ukraine going to win this? Is Ukraine going to win this war? Please pray for them. Prayers work. I went on early today because we were already on with Sheila, and I've got so many things to do later. It's not even funny. So thank you for joining me early. Will Ukraine win this war? Then we're going on to Iran. I've got some really important questions here, you guys. Thank you for they're trying to get their prisoners free, the people that Russia took. They're a little bit, they're uneasy, not a little bit, they're uneasy about what just occurred. Patience and perseverance will see them through. Putin's getting more help and resources from other wealthy people, things that fly through the air. I hope they send it right into Moscow. Well, they're certainly going to advance. To stay very focused. I feel like they have to be unrelenting. They just have to, like, don't stop, like getting into a fight with someone. You can't just like punch them once and see what happens. You just have to pummel them until they go down, or so I'm told. What would I know? All right, will Putin win this war? Will Putin win the war against Ukraine? I feel like that's Xi Jinping helping him. He's not going to get what he wants. He is being helped. There are soldiers that are just saying, I don't want to do this anymore. They're fatigued. They won't win. He will not win. Ukraine advances, okay? This is really great news, but they have to go in and pummel. Like, they can't just, don't need to repeat or reiterate that. Okay, now, is Iran's been holding out and holding on, but how is their country really doing? How are the citizens and people of Iran feeling? Will the country of Iran suffer a financial collapse? Will the people of Iran, will the country of Iran suffer a financial collapse? Are they already in it? Are they headed for it? Got nothing to lose, fire away. Country of Iran experience a financial collapse. All right, they're already in trouble. Remember how we talked about whether the devil was up or... They're already in trouble, but they're not going to admit it, and no one will announce it. The citizens are in debt. Families are in debt. And then they go into analysis paralysis. They're afraid to spend money. They don't know what to do. They're very concerned and afraid. The whole state, the whole country. Because everything's changed. And they've been cut off from communication, certain communications and things, material goods. I know, remember, China's going to make a lot of money because of Trump just gifted him with so much, but they're not going to be able to pull this out. So I believe Iran's in really big trouble financially, and they're going to end up acquiescing. They're going to be willing to make a deal. That's just like, how long can this go on? They're already in trouble here. They're already in trouble. They're going to have to give, because this is not tenable here. And there's a female that's been beneficial or rises up in Iran. Okay. Let's take a look to see if the Strait of Hormuz is going to be open anytime soon. The Strait of Hormuz be open anytime soon. You know, Rubio saying there'll be no toll system. You know, Iran is not, okay, so we really got some good insight there. They're not, they think they have all the bargaining chips, but they don't. They have a lot, but they're not going to be able to sustain this. They won't be able to continue this for as long as other people are saying they can. All right. Lots of negotiation, adversity. And the Ace of Swords, which is Excalibur, is on its side. This is tough situations here. There's going to be meetings at a certain destination. I don't know if that's going to be Pakistan or one of the other, or Qatar. I don't know where that's going to take place, but this isn't good here. Waiting. A new offer, writing. And there they will, I don't feel like capitulate is the right word, but they're going to give in somehow. So we have to be very firm. We've gotten our, what a mess. What a mess, y'all. Okay. This doesn't happen, you know, there could be some opening and then closing, but this is a mess. This Ace of Cups isn't lickety split, you know, but there'll be an offer. They're going to be able to work it out somehow. All right. New Jersey's Governor Mikey Sherrill was denied access along with the U.S. Senator Andy Kim, who was actually pepper sprayed. They say there's a hunger strike going on. They were denied access to get into an ICE facility, an immigration facility in Newark, New Jersey, Delaney Hall. Are they going to be able to get in there? I mean, she's the governor. Hello. How does that even happen? How does that even happen? I haven't been able to see really the news today, so I don't know if they've been able to, if she's been able to get access or. How is this stuff even happening? These internment camps, you know, because let's face it, that's what they are. I mean, I just feel like there's going to be another No Kings protest. There's going to be an ICE protest. I think there's going to be a protest about everything, because everybody's had it. Oh my gosh. All right, so it's really sad in there, you guys. Oh, man. They're trying to block her. She's being betrayed. They've got a block on her. All right, these are papers that are filed, things that are written. They don't want her in there. She's not going to be satisfied with whatever they offer. This is being done by one man in particular. So that's probably Mullen. She will get in, but she's being blocked. This is going to take her. This is extra effort and heartache, and this is really tough. Okay. So she'll get in, but not today, you know, or not when she originally, or of course not yesterday, but not when she's trying right at this point. So let's just see what happens to Mark Wayne. You know, what a creep. Future for Mark Wayne. Is he going down for this? She's going to get that place shut down. Watch her. She will do it. Alligator Alcatraz is closing. It's costing a fortune to keep it open, which I think is the reason they're doing it. And they deported, I don't know how many. Satan said, oh, it served its purpose. Yeah. Boy, he's fat and sassy. He thinks this is funny. He actually thinks this is funny. There's that betrayal. There's a fight. He won't be able to continue. He may have things the way he wants them right at this second, but then he falters. And it's hard for him to juggle everything. There's a lot of emotion around this. And he goes from feeling smug to being freaked out. It's too much. He's over his skis. We need to dedicate one whole day to find out what's going to happen to those warehouses and other internment camps. All right, I want to take another look at Trump's health because he's at Walter Reed for dental and his regular physical. I got, when I read on Sheila's channel just a couple hours ago with Sheila and Danny, I got that he's having problems with his intestines, his colon, intestines, blockages. Trump's health, because I got that by the end of this month, and that I did one specific reading a couple weeks ago that by the end of this month, he was not going to be able to keep up with presidential duties or timelines or schedules. So show me his health through the end of the month, through the full moon. Trump's health through the full moon. Does he go down, walk away? I feel like I just don't feel like he's going to feel good, and he isn't going to be able to do his job. He's not going to be able to do his job. He feels like what has happened is unfair, and someone's going to have to help him. What happens to his health is not good. The change has already started. They keep trying to pump him up with stuff. There it is again. So this is confirmation for me for the Four of Pentacles. I feel that he keeps getting like bowel obstructions, or sorry, you guys. He may have to have a colostomy if he doesn't already have one. But there's something very wrong with this whole stomach area. They're trying to help him. He may even fly to another country to have some sort of trial procedure. And he becomes very emotional about it. So I don't feel like he can. I feel like another man steps in. So it's probably Vance. I don't see Rubio as being the King of Cups. I see more Vance or someone else having to take over. So I just don't think he can. I just don't. So I stand with it. You know, he's going to be able to pull off this or that, but his health has changed, and he doesn't feel good enough or strong enough. He couldn't stand at Arlington. He was swaying. He was doing mouth breathing. If you watch him walk up to Arlington, his mouth was open. So his oxygen level is low. His O2 sats are low. You know, I think his ejection fraction from his heart is low. I don't think it's, you know, it's not getting down to his hands and feet, his ankles. So he's a mess. So, you know, we're really strong. We've gotten through all this time. You know, we had some reprieve with Biden. We got through COVID. We're here supporting each other. And, you know, we're badasses. You know, we're strong. We've been through it. And we're still going through it, but we're getting through it. You know, we're going through. We're very close. And more people are going to tell on Musk. It's not going to just be Ashley Sinclair. If you haven't seen that video that I named Good News Here or Great News Here, the one before last, I thought it would get so many more views with that title, but I don't know how else to say it. I just keep seeing that more information will continue to come out. That's a scandal that hasn't completely surfaced. Okay. All right. How many spirits are haunting Trump? He went to Arlington again. Fell asleep when Hegseth and Vance were speaking. His legs are getting weak. How many spirits are haunting him? I think it's a lot. I think there's a lot from the White House with all this ripping up. Can you imagine the unrest? And then he's got Merriweather at Mar-a-Lago, you know, after stealing the coat of arms. I mean, there's this man is being haunted. You know, he thinks he's smug, but he's hearing voices. This is things that are audible, things that are announced. So he is definitely hearing them. And it scares them, makes them freeze right in place. And one time I saw that there was writing on his mirror. You know, when he got out of the shower, you know how he's always talking about the water in the shower? And I think he saw writing on the mirror. And I think that scared the bejesus out of him. And he feels defensive. He had a little reprieve here in the past, but now he's like, they're attacking me. They're attacking me. You know, they're coming around. They're making sounds. Oh, yeah. Especially when, so they jumped on him, attached to him when there were prayers being said, because they can feel how Trump really feels, you know, so he knows he doesn't say anything that has to do with prayer honestly or from his heart. And that's when that's where he's really got it. Yeah, he's going down. They say mean things to him. He hears them. Listen, you guys, this is really good. So I want you to know that's probably why he's having trouble. Part of the reason he's having trouble staying awake, because he's hearing these voices. And they are yeah. And there's a soldier. It's a great opportunity. And they're trying to get him to leave. And they're going to take him. They're coming to take you away. Ha ha, hee hee. So they are trying to take him away. They're trying to assist him to go across the river Styx. Because that can be the ferrymen. And they want him out. And they're trying to take him out. And they're doing everything they can. So I feel like we should feel good that they are on our side. They're helping us. And he is being, you know, like the mockingbirds are doing to my poor Zinni cat, you know, they're dive bombing him. So poor Zinni. Oh my God. We had 2 sets of babies, 2 nuts, and Zinni can't even go in her yard. All right. So, but it's over now. It's over now. The young ones have gone on. Okay. So rest assured, they are pecking at him. They are saying things in his ear. They're writing things on his mirror. They are trying to get him to lose his mind. And especially when there's prayer of any kind around. So that's it. That is it. And it's predominantly men, is what I'm getting. So he is definitely being haunted. It's so good. All right. So they're helping us, really helping us. Okay, how are we doing on time? Wow, were we up there already? Okay, we are. I think I got through. Oh, my friend Dave wanted me to ask a question. Hassan Piker. He supports progressive Democratic candidates and is a big voice for younger Americans. He's the nephew of Cenk. Oh, of the Young Turks. Okay. He wants me to read on Hassan Piker, the corporate Democratic machine and Israel lobby are trying to take him down. So what's the future look like for Hassan Piker? Will he stand strong, continue with his broadcast? We certainly wish him the best. Will he stand strong? Will he continue to succeed? Hassan Piker. I hope I'm saying that right. All right, here we go. They're going to try to come after him with a charge or an attorney. He may have to get an attorney. It won't be easy. He gets a little freaked out, a little wigged out. He may have to get around some subjects, but he is victorious. He will go through. He has some choices to make now during the time of Gemini and then going into the time of Cancer with the Chariot. He has to work something differently. There's going to be a lot of gossip and speculation, and they're going to say he's leaving or they're trying to get him off the air. So they're really coming after him. He will need to change. He will not be able to completely all get up in his ego. His ego could trip him up just a little teeny bit. So he may have to get around that. He's going to have to make a decision coming from his head, not his heart. But I feel like he'll be okay. There's going to be a lot of scuttlebutt, a lot of speculation, a lot of dust going up in the air. He'll have to wait till it settles. But I feel that this is the overwhelming ruling card, that he will have to make some change. He's going to have to change how he does some part of his show, or he will have to transcend his ego somehow. So thank you, Angie. Okay. And when you get the Hangman and the Chariot card, it means you can have a bit of an ego. But we want him to succeed. All right. Speaking of succeeding, let's do a reading for you and I. I'll be back on Friday. Unless it just continues to get crazy. Maybe I'll be here Thursday. I'll let you know. Make sure you're subscribed on as many places that you can subscribe. There's my protest buddy, Helene. Oh, looks like we're going to be seeing each other soon. That must mean there's another protest coming. Okay. What do you and I need to know? Don't be afraid. Don't go into fear. Don't go into poverty consciousness. The universe, God, angels, very supportive. The universe is very supportive. Support your favorite reader. Help them out. Subscribe on your phone. Subscribe on your laptop. help change those algorithms, because you really control them. You know, I've been doing it for my favorites. What you and I need to know. Okay. And then, you know, keep your eyes on Putin, because he's got his hand into, I'm telling you, that man is an octopus. Okay. That reminds me, I want to watch that movie with Sally Fields and octopus. I heard that was really good. Okay, the challenge is, all right, the government is going to do just, you know, they're just stupid, right? They're just, so there's going to be a little period of cray. So we have to be patient and persevere, right? We have to be patient, but do not go into poverty consciousness. There is going to be enough, but if you need to go to the store, you may want to go early. The early bird catches the worm. That's a real thing, you guys. Okay? Don't go into the drama. Practice your balance, practice your strength, get organized, get your house organized, do your chopping, have a chop day, have a prep day, have a day where you cook ahead and put things in the freezer, because, you know, there's some cray. All right, so things are going to fly through the air. It's going to be, there's going to be revelation. People are going to fall like dominoes. I need to ask about the weather now, because now I'm concerned, and I've gone over an hour, and I said I wasn't going to do that. Okay. They say that hurts your videos too. All right. Stick together, plan your parties, do your celebrations. There's going to be some nonsense in the news. All right, you have to do everything that you can to stay in harmony and balance and in the Zen zone, even though there's cray going on here, okay? So now I just want to see. I feel like that's Rubio and Vance. Okay. Just want to see, is there going to be really tough weather? Is that what the tower is going to be about? Is there going to be really tough weather for the people in the United States? So lightning bolt can be indicative of there is going to be some tough weather. Just stay weather aware. I feel like this is more about war, and so is it mostly then? All right, is it hurricane or earthquakes? Is it earth changes, hurricane, earthquakes? I'm just checking everything, you guys, because I definitely got the GUN thing that happened with that in that last video I did. Here's a special report. There's definitely going to be there's another volcano or earthquake that happens in another part of the world that's been dormant. Okay. We wish them the best. So is it a false flag or a problem with one of our ships or with Iran? Is that, or things that fly through the air? Is it war related where we get upset? T-Barb, you're a superstar angel. Thank you so much. Is it war related that gets so upsetting? Yes. We're okay up here, though, but it is war related. Okay. All right. So stay balanced, stay in the Zen zone, say your prayer, celebrate with your family. Love each other, be kind, kind. All right, stay in the Zen zone, balanced, chop day, cook ahead day, stock up. Okay, you've got this. See you soon. Thank you, T-Barb. Thank you so much. And thanks for the super sticker. Uh-oh, is this not working right? Where is it? Oop. I just replaced the battery. Okay, you guys, one more time. Bye.